I know. You're like falling asleep today.
I am so tired. I think it was because our parents weren't here last night. I think that's the big thing. It was such a wild night. I have a hot dog on my head.
It's fun to not have the kids around, especially since you guys know us. We're work from home. We homeschool. We're literally with these people 24 hours a day. So
talk about adulting hard.
Yeah. Thank you to our friends who take our children occasionally so that we can party hard when the parents are gone.
I'm so tired.
Whatever.
What?
You love it that I kept you up late.
I know, man. She's mean. I even tried to get in the hot tub to get away from her, and she jumped in the hot tub.
I did.
Yeah,
it was great. Oh, my goodness. So
save me. So it's really important that you actually do these things. I know it feels like you're in a grind.
Yeah.
School just started back up again.
6 months since we had a date,
and
you know?
Then, and so
or
you
even
just
longer.
Don't even get out to do anything. You just kind of do the same things you do. You get up, you go to work, have a cup of coffee, come home, yell at the kids, yell at each other, maybe have sex, and go to bed. Change it up a bit. Put a hot dog hat on and see how your life changes.
See what happens.
You may get fired, but it'll be worth it. Maybe not.
No, I don't think so. I want to talk about three different points today.
Do you want to talk about wiener?
Okay.
Wiener jokes are coming.
Dear.
Wiener. Oh, and my she put all my hats up. Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, that's why we're in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a friend today say, it's kind of cool and a little creepy.
I don't know how it's creepy. It's hats. I think because I like the kid on Mr. Megorium's Emporium who had walls full of hats, and I thought, that's awesome.
That was very cool.
Now I'm going to do the same thing, because if a little kid can do it, I'm an adult, and I can do it too, and I can afford it.
The hats. Especially when people give them to you. That's even better.
Yeah.
Even better. Okay. So I've talked about, in the description, we talked about what she wants, what he wants. And that's what a lot of issues arise in marriage, because
sex.
She wants something.
He wants sex.
Okay.
Just have sex.
All right.
It's just the end of that. Yep. She agrees.
Not
Done.
necessarily.
See you next week.
Sometimes it's the wife that's the higher arousal spouse, you know, the higher desire.
Libido?
Yeah, higher desire spouse.
Libido.
But it comes down to what he wants, what she wants. And I think if you change your thinking to what the marriage wants.
Caught you looking at my wiener. So I want to give a good example, the difference between what he wants and what she wants. And a good example is a 4K television.
It's not what I want.
Waiting for the eyes to roll. So then how do I argue for 4K television before the Super Bowl? I mean, this is the time to buy one. Nobody
wants to watch the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch it out of 4K. And this year they're actually filming it in 8K.
That's insane.
And I am not a sports guy, but I know this kind of crap. So.
Because you're a tech guy.
Because I'm a tech guy. So how do I then argue that we need a 4K television for the family?
Yeah, how do you do that?
I will say...
That's not what the marriage wants.
The marriage
That's
needs
what
a 4K.
the husband wants.
Okay, so how I specifically argue this is that, look, they're cheap, because it's a time to buy TVs now for the Super Bowl that actually go on sale for this reason. It's a good time to buy a TV, even though we're not in the market one. It's a good time to buy one, and I know that your friends are coming over and you're going to binge watch the show, and it would be cooler to watch it clearer on a bigger television. See how I'm rolling that? Now it becomes about us, because I brought her into the fantasy of having a clearer 4K television, and I socialized it by having her friends look at it as well. And if you're buying this... Are you buying it? Close.
Here's the thing, though. Here's a really good thing to figure out what's good for the marriage, and to really listen to each other with different ideas. Love every idea for 15 minutes. So instead
I don't think that you've truly embraced this 4K television thing.
Okay, so if I think a lot of things we just instantly shut down. We don't even listen to our spouse. We're like, I really, really want this. Okay. No, that's not happening, and we kind of tune each other out, because it doesn't matter what you say. I've already made a decision.
I know.
Or vice versa, whatever it is that's happening.
Don't make a decision about the 4K television too early.
For 15 minutes. So if I try to love the idea for 15 minutes and really see it from his perspective, then maybe we can reach a compromise. Hey, all of our TVs work right now. We don't.
It's amazing.
Don't go and break one. That is kind of amazing. There's no reason to buy a TV. But see,
who just breaks a TV to go buy a new one? I have not ever broken a TV on purpose.
Well, not that we have proof. And another, I kind of have 3 interesting points, and I don't know if any of them really relate to each other, but I thought that was a good little tool. Love every idea from your spouse for 15 minutes.
That makes sense.
And see it from their perspective, their point of view. And if you try to do that, if you're loving, wow, what are you doing there? If you love their idea, it makes you, good night. It makes you a lot more empathetic.
Yeah.
To maybe what they're feeling. You know, the first one was what he wants, what she wants, what's good for the marriage. So what does the marriage want? Is this beneficial to the marriage or just one person? And sometimes it's okay if one person, wants something and the other person doesn't, but it's just for that person. That's fine. But what does God want and what does your marriage want? And then the third one is, what's the third one? How fun are you to live with? That was a good point.
So wait. So
I know these 3 kind of random skewed.
They are kind of random, and I will bring them all together.
Okay, so that's all right. I'll let you bring them together. So the third one is how fun are you to live with? Think about that. Are you a nice person to be around? Do your kids really like you? Are you a fun person to be around? Would you want to live with you? If you're kind of going, oh, maybe not, then maybe you should start thinking about that.
Maybe
Would
you
I
should
want to
take the
live with
wiener
you?
off your head and get into the family.
Get into the family. All right, bring them all around. Bring it all around for me.
All right, all around town.
All around town.
Okay, so in the whole entire thing of how much fun are you to live with? Is this beneficial for the family? Is this good for the marriage? It all comes around to wants and needs and desires. Mm-hmm. So, for example, I want a 4K television. I just want it. Is it beneficial for the family? Not really. Can I make an argument for it? Yeah. Do I need to be a jerk about it because I don't have one right now? That makes me not fun to live with.
Right.
So it all kind of does go together. You're not a child, you're an adult. You're married to an entirely separate person who is an adult. Throwing a fit and a temper tantrum because you're not getting what you want shows your immaturity rather than your maturity into re-arguing the case. I think I can make a very good argument to purchase a 4K television that might convince her, but it's my job to convince her. It's not her job to argue the point of view of not to have one. I want one. She doesn't. Let me convince her. And once I convince her, then it's good for the marriage and we're together and I'm happier to live with.
You're happier to live with.
Me pouting, and I'm not making excuses for myself, in which I do pout, it just shows my immaturity, and I usually pout around sex issues. But that's just me, and I have a wiener in my head. But
I think there's way too many jokes we can do with this.
But as long as you understand that you are coming together, and in heated arguments, you need to actually argue for the marriage instead of arguing for your point of view.
Yeah.
Especially if it's
argue for the marriage.
And Virginia Eddy brought this up, and I glanced at. Especially if it's an argument to have more children or not. I could see a husband goes, we can't afford to have another child, while the wife is, I really want to have another baby.
That's a very big deal.
So at that moment, you have to see it from both points of view. I understand that my husband wants to provide for the family, and bringing in another child is another huge drain of income. Mm-hmm. So he's actually coming at it from a mature standpoint. I know that my wife really wants to have another baby because she loves babies, and that's a legitimate standpoint. So how do we argue that together? And at the same time, while she might not get her way because he's waiting for a raise, it doesn't mean that she needs to be a jerk about it. It just means that, okay, in a couple of months, we're going to readdress this issue. I'm going to be the best person to live with because we're arguing for the marriage. We're not arguing for one's needs and desires.
And against each other.
Yeah. And that's really the whole entire point. Can I really argue for a 4K television before the Super Bowl because it will benefit our family? No. But if I say, hey, I would like a 4K television, and she comes back and goes, let me think about that for 15 minutes. And then her response is, yes, you can buy a 4K television, but you have to come up with that extra money by yourself. Then that's an actual compromising solution rather than, no, don't go spend our money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's good.
Huh.
That's good.
Virginia Eddy wants to have tons and tons of babies, and I feel really sad for her husband. I'm just joking, Virginia.
Oh my goodness.
But you kind of get the idea to argue for closeness and togetherness and joining each other and oneness in the marriage rather than letting external things tear you apart. You're actually bringing yourself closer together.
Yeah. Well, that's good. All right.
And that's
How
the
fun are you to
love
live with?
moment today. I am the
Be a
best
fun-
person to live with.
He's pretty fun to live with.
And if you're not a good person to live with, you can ask your spouse, just buy them a wiener hat. And then from that moment, they'll be great to live with because you can't look at them with a straight face with a wiener on their head. And yes, I keep saying wiener because it's funny. How many times can I say wiener in a minute? Wiener, 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 wiener.
All right. We're done here. So we'll see you guys next Monday. Of course, anytime message us for questions.
All right, I stopped saying wiener. I did it again.
I love it. All right. We love you guys. Be good to each other. I sound like Ellen DeGeneres.
And if you haven't been on a date for a while, go to getdatebox.com, type in Have a Marriage 50 for 50% off of your first date, and they have go out dates and stay in dates, whatever kind of date you want.
We had an in date last night, and it was really fun. And obviously, I kept him up too late. All right. Nap time.
Nap time.